What's good with you guys? It's your boy Devil here, and I'm back with another reaction video. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be checking out 10 times WWE wrestlers broke character in 2025 by the always great WrestleMania. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Let's get straight to the video. Thank you guys for 50 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and go follow the Twitch as well. We will be live tonight for Monday Night Raw, so feel free to come through, chat about it. And let's see who advances in this Last Time Is Now tournament tonight, man.
To break character means to remind the viewing public that what they're watching isn't real. It's scripted, it's fiction, and it's fake. The rule of thumb applies more so to pro wrestling than it does to film or television, because more often than not, there are no do-overs in the wrestling world.
Right.
If Tom Holland as Spider-Man flubs a line or bursts out into uncontrollable laughter, he can go for a second take. But if he were a pro wrestler, he'd have to be reminded by Jim Ross that he's live, pal. And 2025, the art of breaking character is alive and well, as the likes of Brock Lesnar, John Cena, and Goldberg all failed a Try Not to Laugh challenge. Here are 10 WWE wrestlers who broke character in 2025. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Number 10, Solo Sikoa's brush with death. Now, it's a shame that it took a failed main event push to expose Solo Sikoa's true strengths, finding nuanced hilarity in just about everything. He'd long been known as easy to break. Sami Zayn got to him on just about every SmackDown during their shared Bloodline tenure, and that persists in 2025. In what was actually a dark match taped after the Blue Brand's Halloween-branded broadcast, Sikoa, who was entering for a trick-or-treat street fight versus LA Knight, took it upon himself to engage with the fake skeleton atop the stage. He conducted an old Bloodline-style handshake with the mannequin, causing its hand to fall to the ground, and Solo's mean-ass character fell off a cliff. It took everything within him not to burst out into laughter. Truth be told, this is the Solo Sikoa that WWE needs to focus on, not the Roman Reigns impersonator shtick he's been attempting for almost 2 years. It hasn't worked, it'll never work. This does though, and it's allowed Sikoa to find deep-rooted fandom that embraces his constant character-breaking persona.
Not only that, but like now that we're starting to see Solo's personality a whole lot more, like you can just go in a different direction. You ain't gotta do this tribal chief stuff. Like if they're like, let's say that they eventually, all groups or whatever, factions, whatever, they break up. So if they do, he still has a role in like being kind of like that R-Truth, where he could just be comedy, but at the same time, I don't know. You could figure some different things out to do with him, because Solo is hilarious. He be having me rolling all the time. But you can just do different things. You ain't gotta make him super serious all the time. Or you can still have him serious, but also have him throwing some jokes. When he was sitting there laughing, when he was like laughing at who was it? He was laughing at Jay, and then saying the 4 letters, 1 word, stop, and then laughing. That shit was hilarious. Like you have stuff there with Solo, as far as like being a comedy character, if you ever want to go that route. And then you had Money in the Bank. This last Money in the Bank, he's sitting there doing everybody's emotes, bro. He's doing the Cero Miedo of Penta. He's doing the LA Knight stuff. Like it was just hilarious. He's sitting there doing everybody's stuff. So if you ever wanted to push Solo in a different direction, not make him so super serious, you have that ability, because he's hilarious. So
Honor. Number 9, Randy Orton wishes he didn't hear this voice. At crowd sing-alongs, do they belong in wrestling? Well, absolutely. There's oftentimes nothing better than hearing the live crowd belt out their rendition of Cody Rhodes' Kingdom, Seth Rollins' Vision, or Edge's Metal Ingus. Randy Orton's voices has become a favorite for fans to cover as the Viper stalks his way down to the ramp, but Orton probably wishes that hadn't been the case on this pre-WrestleMania 41 SmackDown. Approaching the ring steps, Orton caught an ear-piercing rendition of the iconic Rev Theory track, then turned to the fan responsible for butchering it and politely told him, harsh but truth, but it was a screeching cover. Number 8, Kairi Sane never forgets her manners. Traditionally, a pro wrestling heel will refrain from positive audience interaction, i.e. high fives, hugs, and signing autographs. If anything, they'll do the exact opposite. feign high fives, scolding, and tearing apart signs. It's classic heel behavior that has been done for decades.
Right.
Kairi Sane was never told. Sane, a dark side defector alongside Asuka, was in the midst of an otherwise random Raw tag team match teaming with the Empress of Tomorrow against strange bedfellows Bayley and Lyra Valkyria on the Red Brand's 3rd November episode. Holding Lyra hostage in an upside-down rope-assisted head scissors, Kairi dropped down, a smile adorning her face, and embraced some fans in the front row with high fives, all while the camera stayed on her. Now, she isn't the first to break character to such a degree, and she definitely won't be the last. But still, it was odd of WWE to not put the attention elsewhere during a character-breaking blunder.
That's
Number 7.
But I mean, that is what it is. That's just Kairi, though. Like, I mean, Kairi's not really, like, generally, like, a heel. Like, cause you know, I mean, when they had this whole thing going on with Asuka, Io, which I mean, it still is going on because they got War Games coming up. But when they had the Asuka, Io, and Kairi stuff going on, like she was kind of like hesitant to attack Io, so I wouldn't really classify her as like a heel. She's like, but I love Kairi, man. I'm glad that she gets like exposure and TV time and all that, and she makes the most of it. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really say she's really a heel or anything, man. She's adorable, man. Kairi, I ain't gonna lie, Kairi always puts a smile on my face, man.
Carmelo Hayes loses his composure. The Carmelo Hayes and Miz partnership won't be remembered as the pinnacle of either man's professional career. Right. They were labeled Melo Don't Miz for a start, an obliviously AI-generated moniker. It has proven to be much of a career killer for them as Beaver Cleavage was for Headbanger Mosh. Now, their matches remain fun and well structured, however, take their SmackDown appearance from the Blue Brand's 22nd August episode. There they wrestled the Motor City Machine Guns in a winning effort that expertly highlighted both men's strengths, while keeping Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin looking strong and displaying a different side to Carmelo than we're used to seeing. Rolling across Sabin's bent-over back, Hayes stumbled directly into the blind tag from The Miz, causing a boisterous reaction from the evidently pro-Miz Dublin crowd. Melo either was taken aback or baffled by the reaction, losing it and chuckling his way out of what was supposed to be a serious encounter between him and the A-lister. Perhaps that's why Triple H delayed their inevitable breakup. They definitely had some chemistry together. Number 6, Solo Sikoa.
I will agree. I'm not a big fan of the Melo Don't Miz thing. I think that just better things for Carmelo Hayes to be doing. I mean, he's obviously a player. He shows that each and every week that he gets the time to show that. And the crowds are finally getting behind him, which I love. You know what I'm saying? I'm a proud member of the Carmelo Hayes fan club. That is, for those of you that don't know, that is my favorite wrestler at the time, at the moment. So, and has been for a minute. So, I'm excited that the fans are behind him. I'm really hoping he does defeat Gunther, just for the simple fact. I know I'm getting sidetracked here, but just for the simple fact that Gunther's already made, man. 2-time world champ, longest reigning IC champ. He doesn't really need that. I feel like retiring John Cena should be to somebody that could really use that rub. And I feel like Melo's the man. I mean, both from Boston. You know what I'm saying? They've had encounters. They had an encounter on NXT where Cena accompanied him against Braun Breaker, who had Paul Heyman. So I mean, you could also do like a long-term storytelling type of situation there as well, where it's like, I was in your corner, believed in you, and now here you are, facing off against me in my final match. So I just feel like it. I mean, I just feel like Melo's the one that should be Cena's final opponent, just because he could use the rub. But yeah.
Can't handle Jacob Fatu. Now, in the spring of 2024, WWE began positioning Solo Sikoa as a primary heel on the Blue Brand in the wake of Roman Reigns' post-WrestleMania absence. It kinda didn't work, and it destroyed Solo's career, and if anything, it left him strolling the mid-card, drawing crickets by the year's end. The problem was that WWE desired an overpowering, calculated, and believable thug of a headliner. Solo wasn't that. He relied too heavily on Reigns' quick-witted appeal and bullish behavior, perfecting the cold-blooded second-in-command mercenary without overstepping. Had WWE played upon Sikoa's own strengths, though, then perhaps it would have been a different story. Let's face it, he's a comedian, capable of dishing out verbal jabs and finding inanimate objects to argue with. Solo's also prone to bursting into uncontrollable laughter, as he so eloquently displayed following Jacob Fatu's United States Championship retention at Backlash 2025. Walking backstage alongside Fatu and JC Mateo, Sikoa was seen in a social media exclusive video, sniggering behind Mateo as Jacob unleashed. Claiming that he would knock down all corners for his US title, Fatu stated, "I'm fresh off the scale with it. I'm cut all raw with it. You know what I mean? I just dog walk their ass." JC seemed hilariously puzzled behind his closeted smile, but Solo, he didn't even try to hide it. He would break before trying to get his composure back for the cameras. Number 5. AJ Styles' emotional farewell. Less so a moment of breaking character and more so a moment of appreciation for a modern Japanese wrestling legend, the send-off given to AJ Styles as he wrestled his final match in Japan was equal parts heartwarming and tear-jerking at the same time. Before landing in WWE, AJ spent 2 years in New Japan Pro Wrestling, the mountaintop of Japanese wrestling, and was a promotional ace, twice holding the IWGP Heavyweight Championship and multiple times contesting the match of the night. Now, we didn't quite deliver as high level of performance across WWE's 2 nights under the Tokyo lights, but it didn't matter. He was greeted like a megastar, as was evident at the end of the second day. Summoned to the ring by CM Punk and a freshly babyface Shinsuke Nakamura, Styles, after having Nakamura read aloud a touching note written in Japanese, was embraced by a slew of WWE talents, babyfaces and heels alike, with Julia, Asuka, and Kairi Sane, all 3 also being credible performers in their homeland, making up the dark side of this AJ Styles fan club. It was nothing major, as already tapped into. Kairi Sane isn't exactly known for being strict in a character alignment, but it did provide a glimpse at what a year-long retirement run may look like for AJ Styles in 2026. Number 4. R-Truth breaks John Cena. At WWE's post-show press conference,
I'm not gonna lie to you, that is the king of breaking people. If you need somebody, if you really badly want somebody to laugh and break character on screen, just get R-Truth. Literally just get R-Truth. He'll make them break like that. Probably, I mean, yeah, it had to be. I had to say R-Truth is probably the funniest superstar. Solo's probably right behind him though. Solo's hilarious, but I mean, R-Truth's been doing it for so long that he's just been in that comedy character role, and he's been crushing it for so long that you gotta give him his flowers.
Never offered anything remotely interesting,
We miss you,
the
Liv.
exception being Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso's cheerfully drunk ramble following Fastlane 2023. They existed instead so that Triple H can explain how much WWE's profits are up, all while making executive calls to cut masses of talent and significantly raising ticket prices. Following Backlash 2025 though, where John Cena headlined in a WWE Championship retention against Randy Orton, there was something worth discussing on social media. Cena, who'd turned heel 2 months beforehand, had agreed to be open and honest with the in-person media, but WWE being WWE scrapped that and sent R-Truth out and had Cena AA Truth through a table, setting up their Saturday night's main event showdown in what many felt was a waste of one of John Cena's final dates before retiring. R-Truth broke John Cena, mentioning,
"I'm so proud of you, even if people say you suck and can't wrestle."
He looked down to not make it apparent, but Cena had a smile beaming across his face. Truth had genuinely broke John Cena, but this wasn't the first time since turning heel that Cena had remembered how to smile. As number 3, John Cena is proud of John Cena. The effectiveness of John Cena as a heel ran out as he ended WrestleMania 41 draped in the WWE Championship, and it wasn't at the fault of The Rock and or Travis Scott. The heel turn should have never happened. Coming across as an angle done for the sake of just doing an angle, it left a sour taste in the mouths of many when WWE...
That's interesting. That is very interesting. See, I'm saying that it should have never happened. Now, I will agree that the run itself, like I've always said, is very lackluster. There were some moments, but as a whole, it was very lackluster. But I don't know if I'd say it shouldn't have happened. I mean, that was a great moment in wrestling history. I mean, if you didn't have a plan for the heel run, which the way that they was moving, it didn't seem like they did, then yeah, I agree it shouldn't have happened. But like, I don't know, that's just a moment that's like gonna ingrain in people's heads for a very long time. But that's kind of what they've been doing recently, is just having big moments. I mean, Jey Uso winning the Rumble. Nobody was really expecting Jey Uso to win. I mean, you was either CM Punk or John Cena. That's literally majority of people's picks. And then boom, they had the shock factor, which that's what it was. That's the word I was looking for. That they've been trying to do recently, is just have these shock factor moments, which I don't hate. I don't hate them because they get great reactions out of me, out of other people. But it's just like, if you don't have a real plan afterwards, then yeah, you should kind of just not do so many of them.
Struggled to follow up on a turn that was full of levity and anger. That is the fault of The Rock. It was in the fault of Travis Scott that John Cena's final match on the grandest stage will only be remembered for the ear-piercing first note, a fiend. But it was John's fault that he couldn't be taken seriously as a heel because he would break character at any moment. Almost immediately after Chad Patton counted the 3 count at WrestleMania, Cena forgot which side of the fence he was swinging for, letting out a sly smile as he held a gold-plated belt above his head. The surprisingly positive reaction to the lame finish can't have helped, but surely John Cena, a 3-time People's Choice Award nominated actor.
Let you guys understand. I mean, there's obviously people cheering. There are obviously people cheering. I mean, this is John Cena's last year. If you really think that people are just gonna consistently boo this man on the way out, you want some shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. You want some shit. But like, come on, bro. I mean, he just made history right there. So I can understand why he would smirk. I mean, obviously, you're making history. Nobody's ever been 17-time world champ. You know what I'm saying? WWE. So, I mean, but it was like a heelish smirk. He played it off really well. It's kind of like a heelish smirk.
Could have done a better job at perfecting the art of a stoic face card. Number 2, Goldberg finds pleasure in pain. Gunther is an anomaly. Wrestling so atypically from the WWE style, the rugged performer mixes stiff slams with stiffer strikes, delivering a chop that is accompanied by a stomach-churning slap whenever his hand touches skin. Gunther's chops are so viscerally real that Bret Hart publicly called him out for hurting wrestlers for real, stating on the Masked Man show, "The best wrestling has to pretend to be real. That's what I did. I tried to make it as real as I could. Contrary to the Gunther guy, who seems like a nice enough guy when I met him, but I hate wrestlers that hurt each other on purpose." And many wince and cower once Gunther has welted their chest. But Goldberg, he...
Yes, I gotta understand that this is a sport, man. Like, contrary to popular belief of what people say, if people want to call it fake, which I don't really like using that word when describing pro wrestling, because I mean, these people are really putting their bodies on the line for our entertainment. So I kind of hate using that word, but I mean, come on, Brett, you're a wrestler yourself. I mean, obviously, to make it look real, it's kind of got to feel real, man. So, I mean, people know what they signed up for when they get in the ring, especially against Gunther.
Laughed. Gunther's chops in Goldberg's eyes were akin to an early Christmas present. Goldberg didn't mean to break character, but he admitted that he expected more from the chop. The match, which was contested for the Ring General's World Heavyweight title, was also Goldberg's final ever match. Goldberg needed to look strong, and he did so before he'd even jackhammered the 250-pound giant into the mat. And number 1, R-Truth breaks the beast. In 2020, Brock Lesnar, who was nearly at the end of his tyrannical dominance atop WWE, met R-Truth in a most peculiar segment that saw Truth declare for the Royal Rumble match in a bid to eliminate Paul Heyman. It broke Lesnar to a degree never seen before and led him to reportedly pitching for further opportunities to work alongside Truth, which became a reality in 2025. Lesnar, who was slated to face R-Truth's childhood hero John Cena at WrestlePalooza, once again met Truth on SmackDown's 12th September broadcast. Or so we thought. Actually standing across from Brock was Ron Cena, John's supposed older brother. Though it didn't result in Brock tackling as much as he did 5 years earlier, the Beast was left with another character-breaking incident at the fault of R-Truth. Uncontrollably laughing at multiple points during and after the interaction, the aftermath hilarity came after Brock realized he'd split his jeans while F5ing Truth. But there you have it, folks. 10 wrestlers who broke character in 2025. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.
Alright, that was 10 times WWE wrestlers broke character in 2025 by WrestleMania. Like I said, be sure to subscribe to WrestleMania. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe over here. And I appreciate you guys for clicking on the video and watching this. And like I said, be sure to come through, follow the Twitch, man. Come through on the YouTube. I'll go live on both for Raw. Try to do it for SmackDown as well, but you know, SmackDown be up and down. They've been doing their thing recently though. So, I mean, with the last one, they just did a double taping, so there's like spoilers and stuff. So I don't know if I'll be live Friday, but I will for sure be live tonight for Raw. So be sure to come through. Feel free to come through and chat about it. And appreciate y'all for watching. And I'm out of this thing. And I'll see you guys next time.